What's up guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to Steal the Spotlight. Today I have a thrift haul and it feels good to say that. I feel like it's been a little while. I took somewhat of a mini hiatus, which was totally unintentional by the way, but also kind of funny because in the meantime, thrifting blew up to be this massive trend on YouTube and every man and his dog has been making content about it. So I don't know, hopefully you're not sick of it. I'm pretty happy that it has become popular because thrifting is good, man. Thrifting is good. But yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that story. But today I have some really cool stuff to share with you, stuff that I have collected over the last 3 or 4 months. I have been pretty unlucky in the thrift department recently, walking away empty-handed a lot, which is why it's taking me so long just to collect these few items, but hopefully you guys still enjoy. First up is this absolutely adorable 2-piece cardigan set, and this honestly reminds me of something that I would have worn when I was in preschool in the late 90s. I just think it is such a sweet, just innocent sort of piece, and that's how I like to style it as well, with some cute little hair clips and just some plain mum jeans. I think that this was such a good find. I think that it was $8 or something ridiculous for the 2-piece set. And also just the floral embroidery around the top there totally reminds me of one of the shirts that Cher wears in Clueless. I believe hers is on a navy rather than a gray, but definitely a very similar vibe. Also, a heads up, there is a lot of outerwear in this video, and if you guys saw my wardrobe tour from a couple of weeks ago now, you're probably feeling a little bit disgusted because you know that there is no way I needed any more outerwear in my life, but I can't help myself, here we are. One of the items is this white puffer jacket. Yes, I still dig the puffer jacket, don't at me. I thought that a white one would be very, very versatile, and so far it has proven to be so. I've worn it quite a number of times. You may have even spotted it over on my Instagram already, and I think this was $5, so I feel like I've already gotten my cost per wear out of it, so stoked with that. If you are in Australia and have an outerwear addiction like me, then now is the perfect time to be hitting the op shops. Pretty much all of their winter stock is 50% off at the moment, which was the case with this coat. Originally $20, which is pretty pricey, but getting it for 10 I thought was pretty justifiable because it is in really good condition and it's a pretty thick quality coat. The original brand on this one is Junk, and I'm mentioning it because it's kind of a very full circle sort of brand for me. If you're around my age, grew up in Australia and used to love shopping at City Beach, then you will probably remember that brand. When I was late primary school, early high school years, I used to get a lot from them, and I remember specifically this one really short denim miniskirt, and I just thought I was the shit. I felt like Paris Hilton. This is a piece that I can see people being like, okay, yeah, she's lost her mind now, but no, I'm actually into this. I really like the look of the oversized short sleeve button-up shirts at the moment, especially styled just undone over a more fitted long sleeve. Very inspired by some of the trends that are happening in men's fashion at the moment. And this piece specifically kind of reminded me of the Prada shirts a little bit. Obviously theirs are split down the middle, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna hold on to this piece for a little while, and hopefully one day at the thrift store I'll come across a piece that I think will complement this pattern really well, and then I can do a bit of a DIY on it. I saw Sanjeev do one on his channel and I thought it turned out really cool, so fingers crossed I can find a matching partner for this. Another one of those shirts, but this time in a solid color, and you guys have seen this one already, but what you haven't seen is that I actually thrifted it as part of a 2-piece matching set, and these are the wide leg bottoms to go with it. I mean, I didn't find these in the sleepwear section, but I think it's pretty safe to say that it is supposed to be pajamas, but you can totally rock them separately out and about. I'm not too sure if I'm game to pair them together for a public appearance, but we'll see. Maybe it will surprise me. For those of you who don't know, Fran Fine from The Nanny is my ultimate style inspiration and always will be. She totally deserves more recognition. And when I saw this in store, I just squealed. This has her name written all over it, and it was only $8.50, which I mean, I guess is kind of expensive for the thrift store, but still pretty good because it is amazing quality. I tried it on and it just fit perfectly, so you know it had to come home with me. This is a little bit of a change of pace for me because it is more simple than my usual taste. It's an oversized knit cardigan, but the color really drew me in. I thought it would team perfectly with just a light wash pair of denim, plain white t-shirt, and you know, it just gives that really nice, cozy, lazy day sort of vibe. Okay, this is definitely a mood, and I debated whether or not to get it for quite some time in store before finally biting the bullet, but as you can see, it is this very in-your-face two-piece tracksuit, and when I picture the previous owner, I picture someone like Grandma Yetta from The Nanny who just gives zero fucks. They're just like, comfort is key and I love my tacky shit, so leave me alone. And that's definitely the mood I want to carry on when I wear this. And when I really started thinking about how to style it, I thought I could definitely take inspo from people like Sydney Carlson, who, I don't know, they kind of have that early 2000s vibe, but then just make it into like a bougie sort of Instagram model. So fingers crossed we can work that one out. Men's graphic tees used to be a section that I could rely on, but that is no longer the case, my friends. I don't know if it's just really picked over when I go or if people just are not donating good things anymore, but the only one I have to show you is just a good old Polo Sport Ralph Lauren, probably bootleg version, and I'm not even mad about it. I don't know if I want to crop this one off or if I just want to, you know, leave it as is and have the option to tie it in a knot or wear it kind of oversized, but yeah, this mini dress is just the sweetest thing. Total 90s vibes with that floral embroidery on the mesh overlay. And I just think this is gonna be perfect going into spring and summer here for a nice 90s inspired day look. The last few items I have to share, I guess I have like a mini story time about. I picked them all up at Revive Festival, which is pretty much just this secondhand markets that the Brisbane City Council put on once a year, where all of the major op shops come to. So you've got Salvos, Vinnie's, RSPCA, Save the Children, all of the ones that you know and love, and then also a bunch of vintage sellers as well. So you just have like the best of the best stuff to look through and thrift, and it's just a really nice, like, fashionable community. I loved people watching. I've been 3 years in a row now. There's food trucks, live music, and also runway shows. And this year I was actually asked to be one of the models, which is pretty much why I didn't announce it for people to come, because I was so embarrassed and I had so much anxiety about it. I was literally crippled for like a week leading up to it. I freaked myself out like it was just gonna be a disaster. Of course, it wasn't a disaster. I lived and am telling the tale, but I had so much anxiety that I didn't get any footage of it. Hopefully I can find some photos so you guys can kind of get the gist of what I'm talking about. But yeah, I wanted to thank Hannah from Never Ever Pay Retail on Instagram for letting me be involved, because it was awesome. And in future, I promise I will let you guys know when it is happening. The first thing I got there though is this stunning mesh purple robe with a floral pattern all over it. This instantly caught my eye. I mean, how could it not? The color is just beautiful. And immediately I thought that it would team up really nicely with an all orange look underneath. I think that the colors would just complement each other perfectly. And I guess that it would be the sort of thing that you would wear to more of a festival sort of style. Actually, from the same stall, I also picked up this long line trench coat, which is probably one of my favorite pieces of the entire bunch, which is surprising to me because usually when I think of a trench coat, I just think of a classic wardrobe essential that typically you would pair with more conservative sort of outfits and just in general isn't really my vibe. But this one, I don't know, I think it's just that subtle detailing on it that just gives it a point of difference and totally reminded me of something that you'd pick up on Style Nanda for like $100, $120. So finding this for only $20 I thought was a real bargain. The last item I picked up from a vintage seller there who was doing 50% off everything, so it came down to only $24, which I just thought was an absolute steal for this baby. I mean, oh, look at it, it is stunning. And it is no secret that animal print has been my weakness for quite some time, like low-key probably since I was about 5 years old. So it is just an added bonus to me that it is on trend at the moment. But for me, this is something I can keep in my wardrobe for quite some time and break it out every winter. But yeah, I wish the cooler weather was sticking around a little bit longer because I'm probably not gonna get any more wear out of that this season now, but I am going to Japan like mid-November, so the weather will be cooling down by then. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to pack a few of my favorite outerwear pieces to rock while I'm over there, which I'm so excited about the trip, but that is a conversation for another day. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hit me up in the comments which piece was your favorite. I have to go with those last two that I just showed you, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. And if you aren't already, you can come and follow me over on Instagram at Steal the Spotlight. Otherwise, hopefully I see you in my next one. Mwah!